people calling to it. As our Rasul said, even upon the straight path there, this is the straight way, and there's other lines, and at the head of everyone is the shaitan calling to it. So they're trying to entice you to get off. And if you get off, it's very hard to get back on. But what is the da'i doing? What is the dua doing? They are going up and down the road trying to tell people, don't get off. No, don't listen to this sign. No, don't get off. And some of them are even off the road trying to pull other people back on. Yo, if you need to go, this is the right place. No, that road is going to take you. You don't want to go that way. Come here, go here. And you're tearing down all of the signs that shaitan is putting up to try to get you off. So now what? Shaitan's like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Just time out 1 second. My job's hard enough already. Now I got these people out here making a mess. They're out there messing up the work that I've already done, and they're doing, making my job even harder. So guess who he's going to focus on? You. You out there calling to Islam? Oh man, you're going to be public enemy number 1 to Shaitan, and he's going to use everything at his command to throw at you, to try to make you quit, to try to make you give up, to try to get rid of you, to try to undermine you, to try to get rid of your sincerity. Whatever he can do to stop you, he's got to stop you.
Shall we go to prayer, sir? It's getting near.
We already prayed us.
We already prayed.
Yeah, we prayed us. So if you want to pray, you can pray.
Yeah, yes.
I mean, he has to get you, because if he can get you, 2 things can happen. He can stop you from now bringing other people, or he can also bring a lot of people down with you. A lot of people he can bring down with you. So Shaitan is going to focus on you, so you cannot lose hope in encountering evil. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and we have made for every prophet an enemy from amongst the criminals. We have made for every prophet an enemy amongst the criminals. But sufficient is your Lord as a guide and a helper. If all the prophets if all of the prophets had enemies, alayhi wassalatu wassalam, what about us? Do you think we should just get along without any problems? Do you think we deserve to be treated better than the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? No. You're going to get treated worse. You may be treated worse. And we should not feel ashamed. This is when you have friction against your da'wah, when you start to see the friction, then it should become a testament that you are doing the right thing. This should become a litmus test for you of if you're doing the right thing. If it's too easy, I start to question. Realistically, if it's too easy, if for a while I start seeing things are just happening so easy, I start to stop and wait a minute. I recheck, am I doing the right thing? I go back and look for what I'm doing wrong. I do. I go back and look for what I'm doing wrong, because it can't be this easy. I know that there's going to be some tests. But if I don't find anything, then alhamdulillah, maybe just Allah has given me some relief, and also to use some. But there's going to be some fitna, for sure. There's going to be some tests. Also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, rejected were the messengers before you, but they with patience and with constancy, with sorrow, they bore their rejection and their wrongs until our aid did reach them. There is none that can alter the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You've already heard some of their stories. So Allah is saying that the messengers before you were rejected, and they were patient, and they bore it with patience their rejection until our aid reached them. Until our aid came to them. They were patient, they just took it until our aid reached them. And then Allah lets us know that when His aid comes, He reminds us none can alter the decree of Allah. When my aid comes and I send my help and my victory to my ummah, nobody can stop it. It's coming. That's what we're going to talk about, the price of paradise tomorrow. So we're not going to go into that too much. Now the last one, after you have knowledge, after you have a vision with sincerity, and you gain knowledge, and you're acting upon that knowledge, and you have beautiful characters and manners, and you're working now for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you're having patience, and you're dealing with fitna, and constantly you're not losing hope when you encounter this fitna and this evil. The last thing, which is not in no way the least, might be one of the most important, that you need to have, is complete abandoned trust and reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Complete reliance on Allah. Knowing that Allah is the true grantor of victory and the true grantor of success. And that success does not come except by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have to accept that. It has to be in your mind. Because if you don't have this, you're going to give up. And you're going to get frustrated. It's going to become so tough sometimes. You're going to be like, man, there's just absolutely no way I can keep doing this. And you're going to be tested in your dependence upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there's going to be some things that are going to happen that are going to make you realize, hopefully, once you deal with them, there are going to be things that are going to happen to you that in hindsight, you're going to realize that the only way this happened was through the aid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the only way there's no way to explain this. It only happened because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that should build up your tawakkul and trust in Allah. When it seems like there's no way you're going to be able to do something, I trust in Allah. That's it. I'm not really looking at the physical circumstances. I'm not looking at what people are telling me. You're not going to be able to do this. You can't do that. You're not going. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You can't do it. Stay away from it. Leave that alone. You're going to get yourself in trouble. But look, that's it. I depend on Allah. That's it. I trust in Allah. If this is something good, I'm going to depend on it. Because when we see this example, the story of Khandaq, of the battle of Ahzab and Khandaq, the Confederates in the trench, when the greatest army of Arabia had been gathered outside of Medina, and they dug that trench. And when they dug that trench, what did they do? A lot of them went back to doing what they did. They went back to worshiping Allah and doing their daily thing. The munafiqeen came to them and said what? Allah reminds us what they said in Surah Al-Imran. So men said to them, a great army is gathering against you. This is what they told them. A great army is gathered against you. And tried to frighten them. Trying to scare them. The munafiqeen came and said, don't you know that the greatest army in Arabia is coming? You think this little ditch is going to do anything? Are you serious? What are you doing? Tried to frighten them up. But what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? It only increased them in their iman. It only made their iman go up. The harder it came against them, the more the iman went up. And what did they say? Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. Sufficient is Allah for us. Hasbunallah. Allah is enough for us. Wa ni'mal wakeel. He's the best of those who protect. He's the best protector. They trusted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Abandoning trust. They said, we did the best that we could do. We dug the trench. We prepared ourselves. The rest is in the hands of Allah. And what happened? They went to bed with the greatest army that had ever been gathered in the Arabian Peninsula on the other side of the ditch. When they woke up in the morning, who was there? Who was on the other side of the ditch the next morning? No one. A few people scratching in the dirt maybe. Allah sent a storm that night and blew it all away, made them all run. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. That's tawakkul. It could not have happened other than by Allah's aid. But Allah did not even really need them to fight. He only needed their willingness and their trust in Him. Their willingness and their trust. Allah can take care of the rest. Allah doesn't need us to do anything except give Him our obedience. That's it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that He has armies that work for Him and you don't even comprehend. Allah can make the wind an army, a soldier for Him. Allah can make the sand work for Him. Allah can take the water and work for Him like in Fir'aun. Allah can take the sand and make it work for Him like in the Hijrah of our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He can take the birds and the spider like we saw in the cave. Allah can make anything work for Him to your advantage. Allah doesn't need means. Allah creates. Allah creates. He just makes things. Kun. That's all. That's all Allah has to do is kun. Say be. And it is. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, those who fear Allah, Allah will make for them a way out. Allah says, I will create for you a way out. And I will provide for you from places which you did not know. I will provide for you from ways which you cannot recognize and imagine. But Allah says, يَجْعَلْ, I will make for you a way out. I will make for them a way out. So when we fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the rest is in the hands of Allah. That's it. We do what we can and we leave the rest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So far we have gone through what is da'wah, so what are we calling, and some of the attributes of the da'wah. These are not comprehensive whatsoever, but I try to cover them to the best of my abilities, inshallah. We finished right there on time. Because the next thing is methodology, which I'm going to try to go through as much as I can, inshallah, as much as I can. 2 minutes questions. Any questions really quick before we go? If it's a long, detailed question, then we come back. None? Okay. Inshallah, we'll break for Maghrib. And as soon as we pray Maghrib, we'll come back because I want to try to finish this. Inshallah. Jazakum khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We really have to get started. If we want to have any hopes of making it anywhere close to the end within the next hour, because we're really running out of time. And what I want to get into now is the minhaj, or the methodology of dawah. How do we really go about doing it? An hour, I'm going to have to condense a lot of this because this is really like a 3-hour section by itself, maybe a 4-hour section. So I'm going to have to shrink a lot of it. So hopefully we'll be able to expound on it in some detail next time, inshallah. Now, when it comes to methodology or minhaj, we first have to understand where all of our minhaj in Islam comes from. Where all of our minhaj in Islam comes from. Where does our minhaj in Islam come from? It's the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as well as the understanding of the companions, radiallahu anhum, and the generations after them, the 2 generations after them. And I'm going to submit for you why. Because that's kind of like sounds like a paradigm saying. The Prophet, or the Quran, the Sunnah, the Prophet, the companions, and 2 generations after them. That sounds kind of like a sales pitch. But there's a reason why I'm saying this, is that we must understand that our minhaj, the Islamic minhaj, meaning that our minhaj comes from the first 3 generations. Meaning the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, the Tabi'in, and the Atba Tabi'in. Why? Why do I say this? I say this because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, follow me, my sunnah, and the sunnah of the rightly guided Khalifa after me. Meaning follow my sunnah and the sunnah of the rightly guided Khalifa after me. Meaning Abu Bakr, Umar, Ali. And then he also said that the best generation, as I told you earlier, was my generation. Those who are with me. ثُمَّ الَّذِينَ يَعْلُونَهُم, and those who come after them, meaning the Tabi'in. وَثُمَّ الَّذِينَ يَعْلُونَهُم, and then those who come after them, meaning the Atba Tabi'in. And then the hadith says he was silent. He was silent. And then he said in another narration, after those 2 generations will come a people who were not like them. They will do that which I told them not to do, and they will not do that which I told them to do. So I don't want to get into terminologies, but the terminologies in reality we have, we're talking about the Salaf and the Khalif. Salaf meaning the 3 generations after the Prophet ﷺ, and the Khalif meaning those who came after them, whom that's up for grabs, we don't know. It's those who attach themselves to these 3 generations. Now, what wisdom, is there any hukum behind this? Is there any hukum behind this statement of the Prophet ﷺ to the 3 generations? What happened to these 3 generations? What do we have? We have first and foremost the book of Allah from the Prophet ﷺ. Within these 3 generations we have the great Imams of a Hadith. We have Imam Bukhari, comes in the 3rd generation. Imam Muslim, Imam Nasa'i, and I think it was Imam Abu Dawud as well, was in the 3rd generation.